The world was a blur of smells and muffled sounds for Nubby. Born without two front legs, he was a tiny, helpless lump, his struggles to reach his mother's milk a futile dance of flailing limbs and whimpers. His siblings, strong and healthy, shoved him away from the nourishing source, leaving him weak and hungry. The vet, his eyes heavy with pity, suggested the unthinkable. "It's a cruel life, little one," he said, his voice gentle, full of pain and hardship. "Perhaps it's best to let him go." Lou and Mark, his would-be parents, felt a pang of sorrow, but they couldn't bring themselves to follow the vet's advice. They knew Nubby deserved a chance. He was their little fighter, his spirit burning bright despite his physical limitations. They decided to take him home. The first few weeks were a blur of constant care. Lou and Mark took turns feeding Nubby from a bottle, making sure he never felt alone. They swaddled him in blankets, his tiny body small in their hands. He grew, slowly but surely, his eyes finally opening to reveal a world of wonder, a world he was determined to conquer. Nubby's life was not without its challenges. He struggled to move, his powerful back legs carrying the weight of his body with surprising grace. He would often fall, his body tumbling like a rag doll, but he always managed to find his way back to his feet, a stubborn glint in his eyes. Then came the sickness. He started sneezing, his little body shaking, and bubbles began to form around his nose. He couldn't keep food down, his tiny stomach rejecting everything. The vet's worried face confirmed their fears, a rare esophagus condition that could be fatal. Nubby was placed in an incubator, his life hanging in the balance. He grew weaker, his breathing shallow and labored. Lou and Mark stayed by his side, day and night, whispering words of encouragement, their hearts heavy with fear. They prayed for a miracle, for a spark of life to return to their little fighter. And then, a glimmer of hope. A slow, tentative wag of his tail. A flicker of recognition in his eyes. Nubby was fighting, clinging to life with a stubborn determination that amazed them. He spent weeks in the incubator, his tiny body slowly regaining strength. He fought back, his spirit undimmed. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, he was well enough to go home. Nubby, their little fighter, had won. They had bought him a special stroller, a chariot for his travels, and he would ride in it with a regal air, his tail wagging with pride.